How are you today? I'm Dr. Robert Gribble at the Vet on West Main, which is part of our Vets of East Texas group. And I'm going to answer some questions today about dermatology in general. And I don't want to imply that I am a veterinary dermatologist, but every veterinarian probably sees dermatology cases multiple times a day. So it is a very common thing that we see. And the list of dermatology problems is just as long. We're not gonna go over every one of those today, but the most common. And my assistant Sierra is gonna be asking those questions today. She's got a few commonly asked questions that I'm gonna try to answer. And so Sierra, what's the first question?
Dr. Gribble, what are some signs that my dog may have a skin condition?
Okay, like I said, the list is long. Scratching, number one. Irritated skin, number two. Skin that might be swollen and infected and even oozing drainage. We see that a lot. Growths on the skin, we can see that a lot. Hair loss is a very high common problem we see with dermatology problems, hair loss. Excoriations, ulcerations, anything going on in the skin are one of the symptoms. Now the skin, the integument, is the largest organ in the whole body, so you can imagine the list of problems with the biggest organ, the list is the biggest. So what's another question?
What are some causes of skin problems in dogs and how are they treated?
Causes of skin problems. You can break them down into a few causes. Allergies is the biggest, most likely. Infections of microorganisms like bacteria. Also parasitic organisms like fleas and mites and sarcoptes and demodex. Those type of external parasites, ticks as well, can't leave them out. Parasites. Autoimmune problems can cause skin problems where their own body starts saying, hey, we don't like our skin and we're going to start doing some damage to it. So those things can happen as well. And then there's caustic reasons. You could walk across a very irritating substance and the feet become infected. You can have dogs who just got their brand new haircut and spent all day out in the sun, got sunburned. So, like I said, I think a thorough physical exam and some history behind that will help us decide what causes that.
What if my dog's skin problems go untreated?
If they go untreated, obviously they're going to get worse. Parasitic infections get worse. Autoimmune problems get worse. Sometimes the caustic or damaging thing like sunburn or walking across some type of irritating substance, those aren't going to get worse as long as the exposure is not continued.
Are there any skin conditions in dogs that resolve on their own?
Well, the two things I just mentioned, sunburned dogs will get better on their own if you take them out of the sun. And dogs that were exposed to some chemical that they walked in that was very caustic to their foot pads or something, those will usually get better as long as they're not continuing to walk on it.
When do I need to see my veterinarian for my dog's skin condition?
So anytime your dog is uncomfortable, so if they're scratching, staying awake scratching, keeping you awake scratching, if they've caused any damage to the skin by scratching, we need to see that because it can lead to a very highly prolific bacteria growing on the skin, and that thing is called a hot spot. And I've seen a hot spot go from this big to this big overnight. So yeah, we definitely need to see those type of dogs that are causing self-trauma by itching and scratching.
Why are recheck exams so important?
So recheck exams, especially for bacterial type infections, we want to make sure the antibiotic we chose to treat this skin is the one that's working on the actual bug that's growing. And we want to see that hair start popping back in as well. So a lot of hair loss dogs are allergy dogs. And we want to make sure that hair is starting to grow back, which tells us, hey, we've gotten this skin condition under control.
Can anxiety or stress cause skin conditions in my dog?
Anxiety and stress. So I find that anxiety and stress are very closely related to the owner. I'm just joking. But anxiety and stress can cause a dog to chronically lick their feet and chronically lick other parts of their body to where they are actually causing irritation to that skin. So definitely need to look at that as soon as we can to help prevent it from getting worse.
Are there any natural over-the-counter products or supplements I can use on my dog's skin?
Absolutely, a lot more topical ointments that may have hydrocortisone in them that may help smaller lesions. And it usually does not damage the GI tract if a dog is eating that ointment or licking that ointment off after you put it on. So we very commonly see patients that come in that may have had something minor going on. The owner tried to treat it with some ointment. And some of those get better. We don't see those patients. And then some of them do not. And so those are the ones that we'll end up seeing at our practice.
Dr. Gribble, what kinds of skin cancers can my dogs get?
Oh, there's a long list of skin cancers in dogs. In fact, it's the number 8 most diagnosed problem in the country, according to Nationwide Pet Insurance. Some type of benign skin tumor. They can get adenomas, they can get hemangiomas, they can get mast cell tumors. There are tons of round cell tumors. And they range from not very serious, like a sebaceous adenoma, to very serious, like a squamous cell carcinoma. And those things can actually endanger the life of your dog. So the problem is a lot of them look alike, even on a physical exam. So we like to take cells from those skin lesions and find out exactly what these things are before we start either taking them off or deciding, hey, we need a more aggressive treatment than that.
What can I do to help prevent skin cancer in my dog?
Well, I don't know of anything specific to prevent skin cancer in your dog. Now in humans, they say stay out of the sun. Most dogs that have a normal hair coat are usually not that susceptible to the sun's rays unless you just got them shaved down and send them right back out in the yard. So I don't know of any prevention, but the most important thing is early detection, finding those things before they're problems and taking them off when they're small and surgery is short, as opposed to letting them get bigger and taking them off then when surgery is much longer and they have a chance to spread to other parts of the body.
Are certain dog breeds more prone to skin cancer?
Absolutely, and if there's one breed that is on the top of that list, it is a boxer. So any abnormal looking area on a boxer needs to be seen by a veterinarian as soon as possible.
Is skin cancer diagnosis in dogs a death sentence?
No, it is not a death sentence, but it does depend on the type of tumor that we're looking at. So squamous cell carcinoma is very aggressive, and those things can spread and they can cause a lot of damage. A sebaceous adenoma, not so much. You take them off and forget about it. Mast cell tumors are a very sneaky little tumor because they can be benign or they can be grade 3. You're not going to live very long after we take this off. So even though they're all mast cell tumors, they vary widely in their aggressiveness.
This is the last question. What does a skin tumor in a dog feel like?
That is I don't think I can answer that question because there's so many types of skin tumors. And the diagnoses, like I said, it is usually not made on a physical exam. It's made on cytology or histopathology. So they can look a huge range of the way they can look. So just saying a skin tumor looks like this on a dog is not, I just can't say it. So any questions that you have on anything growing on your dog skin wise, and that is from the tip of his nose to the tip of his tail, let us take a look at it. You'll probably take a piece of it, or if it's small, we just take the entire thing off and then find out what it looks like. But the earlier we can find problems on your dog's skin, the longer they're going to live, which brings us to our slogan here at the Vet on West Main. We want to give your dog more good years together. So thank you guys very much.